Egypt. Egypt is a country that stretches across both Africa and Asia, with its territory covering the northeast corner of Africa and the southwest corner of Asia. The country is surrounded by the Mediterranean Sea to the north, the Gaza Strip of Palestine and Israel to the northeast, the Red Sea to the east, Sudan to the south, and Libya to the west. Egypt is separated from Jordan and Saudi Arabia by the Gulf of Aqaba in the northeast. Cairo serves as the capital and largest city of Egypt, while Alexandria, the second largest city, holds significance as an industrial and tourist hub along the Mediterranean coast. With a population of around 100 million people, Egypt ranks as the 14th most populated country globally and the third most populated in Africa. Egypt played a significant role in the development of Christianity and later embraced Islam, starting in the 7th century. Cairo was designated as the capital of the Fatimid Caliphate in the 10th century, and later served as the capital of the Mamluk Sultanate in the 13th century. In 1517, Egypt became a part of the Ottoman Empire. Later, in 1867, its local ruler, Muhammad Ali, established modern Egypt as an autonomous Khedivate. The country was later occupied by the British Empire and achieved independence in 1922 as a monarchy. After the 1952 revolution, Egypt became a republic. It later merged with Syria in 1958 to form the United Arab Republic, which was dissolved in 1961. Egypt engaged in multiple armed conflicts with Israel between 1948 and 1973, and had intermittent occupation of the Gaza Strip until 1967. In 1978, Egypt signed the Camp David Accords, acknowledging Israel in return for its withdrawal from the Sinai. Following the Arab Spring, the 2011 Egyptian revolution resulted in the removal of Hosni Mubarak from power. This led to a prolonged period of political instability in the country. In 2012, a short-lived Islamist government aligned with the Muslim Brotherhood, led by Mohammed Morsi, was elected. However, this government was later overthrown in 2013 due to the widespread protests. Egypt holds significant influence in North Africa, the Middle East, and the Muslim world, and it is recognized as a middle power globally. The country is still developing and has a diverse economy. It is the largest economy in Africa and ranks 38th in terms of nominal GDP. In terms of nominal GDP per capita, it ranks 127th. Egypt is a member of several international organizations, including the United Nations, Non-Aligned Movement, Arab League, African Union, Organization of Islamic Cooperation, World Youth Forum, and BRICS. Egypt's economy. The economy of Egypt was previously highly centralized, with a focus on import substitution during the presidency of Gamal Abdel Nasser from 1954 to 1970. Under the leadership of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, from 2014 to the present, the economy is aligned with Egypt's 2030 vision. The policy seeks to broaden the scope of Egypt's economy. The economy of the country ranks second in Africa by nominal GDP and 38th worldwide as of 2023. Starting in the 2000s, Egypt's implemented various structural reforms in areas such as fiscal and monetary policies, taxation, privatization, and new business legislation. These reforms have played a significant role in shifting Egypt towards a more market-oriented economy and attracting higher levels of foreign investment. The reforms and policies have led to improved macroeconomic annual growth results. As Egypt's economy improved, there was a noticeable decrease in unemployment and poverty. The country enjoys political stability, its close proximity to Europe, and a boost in exports. Egypt is considered stable and enjoys strong support from external stakeholders, which is reassuring for investors. In fiscal year 2005, Egypt's trade balance was $10.36 billion, which was higher than the previous year's $7.5 billion. Egypt primarily exports natural gas and a variety of non-petroleum products. These include ready-made clothes, cotton textiles, medical and petrochemical products, citrus fruits, rice, dried onion, and more recently, cement, steel, and ceramics. Egypt primarily imports pharmaceuticals and non-petroleum products, including wheat, maize, cars, and car spare parts. The current account increased from 0.7% of GDP in fiscal year 2002 to 3.3% in fiscal year 2005. In 2005, Egypt's current account recorded a surplus of $4.478 million, a significant improvement from the deficit of $158 million in fiscal year 2004. Italian and American markets are the primary destinations for Egyptian goods and services. As of 2018, Egypt has the largest non-oil GDP in the Arab world. Approximately 2.7 million Egyptians living abroad actively contribute to the development of their country through remittance inflows, circulation of human and social capital, and investment, according to the International Organization for Migration. In 2009, Egypt received the largest amount of remittances in the Middle East. An estimated $7.8 billion was received, which is about 5% of the national GDP. However, there was a 10% decline from 2008, mainly because of the financial crisis. The data from Egypt's central bank reveals that the United States was the leading country in terms of remittances sent, accounting for 23% of the total. Kuwait followed closely behind with 15%, while the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia accounted for 14% and 9%, respectively. Facing the economic crisis, the Egyptian economy has experienced significant instability, which has impacted the government's developmental goals and expectations. The devaluation of the Egyptian pound, along with international challenges such as the COVID-19 pandemic and the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, has led the Egyptian Tax Authority under the Ministry of Finance to implement strategies to address economic setbacks in various industries and introduce initiatives to reduce emerging financial strains. The economy of Egypt has been greatly affected by a substantial devaluation of its currency, which has worsened the ongoing economic crisis. The Egyptian revolution had a negative impact as tourism and exports decreased, leading the government to request financial assistance from global institutions. An important event occurred in 2016 when Egypt reached an agreement with the International Monetary Fund for a loan of $12 billion. This loan was dependent on Egypt implementing a floating exchange rate policy. This shift resulted in a significant decrease in the value of the Egyptian pound, which initiated a period of currency devaluation that still impacted the economy. Given the ongoing global crises and their impact on Egypt's critical sectors, it is expected that the currency's value will continue to decline, as it did by almost 17% in March 2023. The ETA is considering the possibility of creating a separate USD exchange for its tax purposes. This would make tax calculations easier for businesses that earn in US dollars by keeping it separate from the Central Bank of Egypt's policy. This proposal outlines a potential implementation strategy for the hospitality sector. The goal is to collect taxes in US dollars to address the current economic situation. The Ministry of Finance's upcoming 5-year tax policy is expected to tackle these issues and work towards stabilizing Egypt's tax system in the face of these challenges. The payment of taxes in US dollars for local and foreign businesses under the policy is still unclear. The MOF has issued an amendment to Law 91, providing an alternative method for tax treatment. This aims to address the issue of tax files with revenue less than 10 million Egyptian pounds for all examination periods opened before June 2023. The Egyptian Tax Authority aims to address economic challenges in certain industries by implementing tax reductions and exemptions. The government has adopted legislative modifications to give significant tax relief to stakeholders participating in nuclear projects, realizing the potential of nuclear energy to diversify Egypt's energy mix and improve energy security. These tax breaks aim to promote growth in the sector, making it financially feasible to undertake and complete nuclear energy projects on schedule. The Egyptian Tax Authority aims to expedite the development of nuclear infrastructure by alleviating the financial burden on companies in this field. This will help Egypt meet its future energy needs in a sustainable and reliable manner. The tourism sector in Egypt, which plays a crucial role in the economy, is being rejuvenated with the implementation of tourism-free zones. These zones provide appealing tax incentives to attract investment and promote development. The recent approval of a tourism-free zone in Nuwaba is a positive development, but there are still some uncertainties surrounding its progress and operational details. The government aims to boost Egypt's attractiveness as a top tourist spot, stimulate economic growth, and generate job opportunities by offering tax exemptions and reductions in these zones. Unfortunately, the automotive industry has not received the same level of focus. Local manufacturing is burdened by tax and duty pressures, which are worsened by currency devaluation, despite certain tax exemptions for imported vehicles. The establishment of the Supreme Council for Vehicle Manufacturing aims to tackle these challenges by promoting local production and making adjustments to tax policies. Although Egypt's tax system has made progress in terms of digitalization and offering tax incentives, there are still important areas that need improvement. To effectively tackle the economic crisis, it is necessary to implement specific tax incentives for industries such as automotive and reassess the approach to DTT assessments. The ETA's efforts to simplify and clarify the tax appeal process by establishing the Tax Appeal Committee is a positive move toward improving the efficiency of Egypt's tax system for investors. Nevertheless, the Egyptian tax system requires further development in order to align with Egypt's status and value and serve as a catalyst for investment in the country. Egypt's tax reforms are designed to specifically target and address the economic challenges faced by key industries. The government is actively promoting growth in the nuclear energy and tourism sectors through tax incentives and reliefs. These efforts are essential to guarantee the sustainable development of these industries, which play a crucial role in Egypt's economic well-being and success.